So here we are, and we're going to start by looking at box breathing. Now, in the book, I've tried to put over that, and I'm sure if you've had anxiety, especially if you experience anxiety attacks, your doctor says, "Oh yes, well when you're having a panic attack, just do this breathing and it will help." And the theory behind that is wonderful, except it's not as simple in practice. Because when you're full on anxiety, you're not really kind of thinking, "Oh right, that's okay. I'll just stop and I'll have a breathe," you know. But the theory is right, because basically your mind cannot stay in fight and flight mode if you're breathing deeply. Because your mind goes, hang on. If you think about it, when you're anxious, you're like, and you're breathing, and you're shallow breathing, and that keeps your mind in that state. When you start to relax, your breathing relaxes and you start breathing deeper. So by creating deep breath, you're telling your brain that's kind of, have you ever seen horses that just spook at anything? It's basically anxiety. It's our brain going, there's something that's probably not ever going to happen, but it's happening. It could happen and it might happen. And you know what it's like. But if we control our breathing, we can slow that down. However, like I said, in the moment, that doesn't work often. It can do, but it's a bit hit and miss. The way to get the most out of breathing exercises and things like meditation is to do it daily. And every one of these exercises, do it. You must do this stuff. And the more you do this stuff, the more you'll find it works. And even if you're doing it and sometimes you find yourself doubting whether it's working, the more you find yourself doubting that you think it might be working, the more you can discover that it does work for you. So when it comes to breathing exercises, it's no use saving it up for when you have in that moment the anxiety or the panic. What you need to do is do some of that exercise every day. And the reason I like the box breathing is you can do 2 minutes at a time. You don't have to do 10 minutes or 20 minutes like if you're doing meditation. You can do 2 minutes here, 2 minutes there at any point throughout the day. You'll understand once I've taken you through it. But by doing this, it brings down your anxiety levels by deep breathing. Now, if you think about your anxiety, and I'm sure you've probably heard this analogy before, if you imagine a bottle of pop, your stress is built up, your anxiety is built up, the bottle of pop gets shaken and shaken and shaken, and the pressure builds and builds and builds and builds until it goes poof and it's too much. By doing something like box breathing every day, what you do is you let that pressure down gently. So it then takes more worry and more stress to actually get you to that point where you're feeling anxious. So it's a prevention method. If you do exercises that are deliberately designed to lower your stress levels, help you relax daily, just make it part of your daily routine, you're automatically starting to bring your stress levels down. And I think give yourself 2 weeks of doing box breathing a few times every day, and you literally will begin to notice that difference. So I'm going to take you through that. I'm going to take you through the box breathing, and there's nothing to do. Just follow the instructions to the best of your ability. This is something you can do on a bus. You can do it whilst you're waiting in a queue. You can, the place, whenever you've got a moment, you can pause. I mean, you can go for a walk and practice box breathing at the same time. It's such a flexible tool. But if you make this part of your day, you can drop in 3 or 4 moments during the day where you do a couple of minutes, that's it, of box breathing. Within a month, within 28 days, you will notice the difference in your stress levels. So let us begin. I say I'll take you through it this time. There's not much to remember. This is probably the easiest thing you can ever do that will help you the more you do it without fail. So make sure you've got a couple of minutes where you're not going to be disturbed so you can follow and listen to this. I'm going to I'll drop some music in, probably just about there. And all I want you to do is sit and be comfortable. It's always nice to start these practices by taking a couple of 3 deep breaths together. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in, hold it, and then just release. That's it. Taking a second deep breath in, hold it, and again just release. And a third wonderful deep breath in, hold it, and then just release. Now, as you release, just return to your natural breath as I talk to you. You may choose to close your eyes for this, but you don't have to. It's not essential. But if you have done, then I would obviously say don't listen to this if you're operating machinery or driving a car. So in a moment, we're going to start just breathing in and breathing out. And what we're going to do, we're going to breathe in for the count of 4. Once you get better at this, you can extend the time that you breathe in for. But the key thing is that you breathe in for a count of 4 to start off with, hold it for the count of 4, breathe out for a count of 4, and then hold that for a count of 4. So you can see the idea of the box. It's just a square shaped breathing, and that might help you to imagine that as you're breathing it. Each count, don't kind of do one fast and one slow, keep them at the same pace. You need that pace of rhythm. And I'm going to talk you through it, I'm going to count you through it. I will start by doing the count with you out loud, but then I'm going to, I will be quiet and allow some time in silence for you to just practice this. Okay, we're going to go for 2 minutes. I'll be with you for some of that time. You carry on just counting it your own, because I might start off with a rhythm that's maybe a bit fast for you or a bit slow for you, and if that's the case, it gives you a chance after the first few times round to find your own pace with it. So let's begin. Take a nice another deep breath in, breathe out, just tell yourself I'm going to relax. This isn't meditation, so it doesn't matter if there's noises around about you, they don't need to disturb you. And let us begin. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, release, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and continue at your own pace. Just a little while longer. And just return to your natural rhythm, your natural breath. Just be still for a moment. And you can remember to use box breathing whenever you have a chance to practice this until you can do this automatically without thinking. And the more you do this, the better you'll feel, and the better you feel, the more you can do this, bringing down your stress, bringing down your anxiety. And you can do a couple of minutes. That's all we did, 2.5 minutes there. And you can begin to notice a difference just from that. I mean, if you've got longer, you can do longer. But if you're at work, if you do things like typing, you can sit there and box breathe whilst you're typing. You know, there's so many opportunities. Explore, integrate, make this technique part of your life. And if you do this every day, 3 or 4 times a day, you're going to notice your anxiety and your stress levels coming down automatically. You will not have to think about it. Hope you've enjoyed this. Do practice this technique, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.